My name is Laura, I'm also known as a running yogi, and today we are going to do a little 30-minute post-run yoga flow. Very armsy today. Post-run yoga flow, just to help us flush out the legs a little bit here and reset ourselves after the run. We'll stretch through the lower legs mainly, just to release some tension in there after your run. And this will be good, as we're going to focus on the calves a little bit, this could be good for post-hills, or if you've done a little bit of speed work as well. This is all good stuff. And we're going to open up the hips a little bit more. I know runners tend to have quite tight hips as we're constantly moving, just forward and backwards, so we want to open things up a little bit. Work on the spine as well, release a little bit of tension up in the shoulders. So, to start with, you will need a strap for this practice if you have one. A yoga strap works well, or perhaps a tie or a rolled up jumper, a blanket, anything like that will also work. And if you want to, you could support your head on a pillow or something like that. We are going to start lying down, and I'm going to support my head on a pillow here, just to start with. So, if you've literally just come in from your run, we're just going to start with a little bit of breath work to help wind ourselves down, allow the breath to settle, and then we'll bring in some gentle movement and start moving ourselves in that way. So have your strap close by, as we're going to be working on some lying down postures before we work on up. So, coming to lie down on your mat. If it's comfortable to support the head, or perhaps you could put maybe a bolster or a couple of pillows or a rolled up blanket underneath the knees. Having the legs outstretched in front of you if that's comfortable, or maybe you could bring the feet in and the knees up towards the ceiling, whichever you prefer. Allowing yourself to just get nice and comfortable here, making any adjustments you need to. Allowing the breath to settle. For now, we won't change anything in the breath just yet. Allow yourself to find some stillness after that run. Allow yourself to just mentally check over the body here. See if there's any areas of tension or tightness, any aches and pains, or just bring some awareness to those. Good. Let's deepen the breath slightly here. So inhaling through the nose, pausing at the top, and then really sighing the breath out on your exhale. Good, twice more. Last time. Allow the shoulders to relax away from the ears on those exhales. If you're anything like me, then I know I run with my shoulders up towards the ears, so I'm always trying to release them away. Give my neck that room to breathe. Good. Slowly wriggling the fingers and toes here. Let's turn the head over towards the left, up to the centre, and then over to the right. So we just bring a little bit of movement into the body here. Good. Slowly, let's walk the feet in if you haven't already. Bringing the knees in towards the chest now. Taking hold of the tops of the knees and just swaying from side to side. Release that lower spine. Good. On your next inhale, let's engage the core as you pull the shoulders and the head up towards the knees. The forehead meets the knees. Curling yourself into a little ball. Good. Exhale as you release. Shoulders relax away from the ears. Let's do that twice more. So inhaling, curling yourself into a little ball. Exhale to release. Good. And one last time. Inhaling. And exhale to release that. Good. Okay. Now, if you have that strap handy, grab that. You're going to need it. Let's place that left leg back down onto the mat. If you want to, you can keep the knee bent in here. But we'll take take the strap and place it around the ball of that right foot. Straightening out the leg here. Holding the strap in both hands, keeping the shoulders away from the ears, and the upper arms are close to the mat. As you inhale, move that right leg away from the chest. A little micro bend in the knee. As you exhale, bring it closer, aiming to bring the toes towards the forehead. But of course, not going that far. Depending on how your hamstrings are, we're stretching out the hamstrings here. So with that right heel, you're really pushing it away. Good. Inhale to move that right leg away. Exhale as you bring it closer. Maybe you find a little bit more room. Not forcing anything here. Inhale to move the leg away. Exhale to bring it closer. If you prefer to just hold the posture rather than moving with the breath, you can do. If you'd like a little bit more, straighten that left leg. Good. Slowly we'll take both of the straps into the right hand, so the left hand comes to rest on top of the left hip. We're using that as a bit of an anchor point here. Now I've just realised I don't have enough room on the right. But here what we're going to do is inhale, and as you exhale, allow that right leg to fall over towards the right. I'll shimmy over a little bit. Good. Maybe yours can go a little bit further, but we don't want to be resting the leg here or anything. We're opening up the hip on that right hand side. And the reason we've got that left hand on the left hip here is because otherwise we'll start to tilt over towards the right, but we want to get to that sweet spot before we start rolling over towards the right. Good. Breathing here. Let's take 2 more breaths. Again, pushing that right heel away. Good. Next, we're taking that strap, bringing it back over towards the centre of the body. Holding that strap in the left hand this time, the right hand can come down beside you. Inhaling here, and as you exhale, let's cross that right leg over the left, only ever so slightly. You probably won't be able to go far, as we're getting a bit of an IT stretch here. Good. Again, you really want to take it easy on this stretch. We're not forcing it to try and get it all the way over to the left. Just ever so slightly across the body. Good, let's take 2 more breaths. Good. Slowly inhale as you come back towards the centre. Bending that right knee in towards the torso. Take that strap, place it on the left hand side, hugging that right knee in towards the chest. Maybe rolling the ankle here. Oh, that's clicking. Good. Good. When you feel ready, releasing that right leg back onto the mat. We'll come over to the left hand side now. So bending in that left leg, taking the strap, passing it over the left ball of the foot. Keeping that right knee bent for now. Upper arms are laying on the mat. A little micro bend in that left knee, pushing the left heel away. Inhale as you move the left leg away from you. Exhale to bring it in here. Good. Or if you prefer to hold this posture instead of moving with the breath, that's fine. Just remembering to breathe. Really pushing that left heel away. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears here as well, so often they can creep up without us realising it. Good. Now taking that strap, holding that in the right hand, the right hand comes to rest on top of that right hip. Inhaling here as you exhale, allow the left leg to drop open towards the left. If you need a little bit more, you can straighten that right leg. Should be feeling that down the hamstrings, coming into the inner thigh. Again, really pushing that left heel away from you. Finding that sweet spot before you start to feel yourself tipping over towards the left. Good, let's take 2 more breaths here. Good. Slowly inhale, bringing that left leg back in towards the centre. Holding the strap in the right hand this time. The left hand can come on the mat beside you. Inhaling here, and as you exhale, crossing that left leg over towards the right side of the body. I can't go as far as this side. I've got a little bit of a sad IT band on the left side. But until you feel that stretch down to the hamstring and that IT on the left leg. Good. One last breath here. Slowly bringing that left leg back towards the centre, bending the knee in, losing that stretch, chucking that over to the side, hugging that left leg in towards the chest. Maybe rolling the ankle here. Good. And then hugging both knees in towards the chest, having a little sway from side to side. Good. And then rolling over to whichever side is comfortable. We're coming to lay on the front, on our fronts, on the mat now. So removing a pillow if you were resting on one. Coming to lay onto your mat. Allow the feet to naturally fall apart here. We're coming into a Sphinx pose. So resting onto the forearms, the elbows are underneath the shoulders. Inhaling here as you're pulling the chin and the chest forward, engaging the glutes to help protect that lower spine. Good. Exhaling out the breath here. When you're ready, slowly bringing that left hand in towards the centre of the chest, reaching back with the right hand and bending into that right knee. We'll take a hold of that right thigh, of that right foot, stretching out the quads here. Remembering not to dump in onto that left shoulder, staying nice and high in the chest. Good. Aiming to bring that right heel towards the right glute, but it doesn't matter how far away it is. Maybe you're up here, maybe you're not, so that's okay. All depending on the hamstrings here and the quads. Good. When you're ready, releasing that right leg, bringing the right hand into the centre of the chest this time, bending into that left knee. We'll take a hold of that left foot now. Staying high on that right shoulder onto the hand, pushing into the mat. Aiming to bring the left heel towards the left glute. Good. Slowly releasing that left leg. Replacing the arms here. Let's come back into that Sphinx pose. So resetting yourself on the forearms. Inhale to shine forward, engaging the glutes, engaging the core here and the pelvic floor, helping us lift a little bit taller. When you're ready, making a little pillow with the hands, releasing the head and having a little sway with the hips here from side to side. Good. Slowly we'll push through the hands as you come up and back into your child's pose. So knees nice and wide here, or you can have the knees together, but we're sinking back in between the hips. Releasing the forehead onto the mat. Good. Slowly inhale as you come up onto your all fours here. We're working through a few cat and cows. You have the option here, you can either keep the feet untucked, so laces down, or the toes tucked under here, whichever you feel more comfortable with. Did I say laces? Toes tucked under here. So with the arms, making sure that the wrists are underneath the elbows, elbows underneath the shoulders. Turning the eyes of the elbows out towards the front here to help switch on the shoulders a little bit. Making sure we're not dumping through the shoulders, staying nice and proud in the chest. Engaging the core, keeping that nice and tucked in. A nice long spine here from the crown of the head down to the tailbone. As we inhale, let's shine the chest forward, lifting the chin and the chest. Maybe the tailbone rises. As you exhale, rounding the spine, dropping the chin towards the chest, pushing the mat away. Inhaling to come forward. Exhale to round the spine. Inhaling to come forward. Exhale to round. Moving with your breath here, maybe you're a little bit quicker, or maybe you are a little bit slower than I am today. Neither's right or wrong, you're just bringing that breath and body awareness as you move. Good. Let's take 2 more here. So inhaling to come forward. Exhale to round. Inhale to come forward. And exhale to round. Good. Slowly, we'll come into a bit of a calf stretch. Now as you stretch that right leg out behind you, staying high on the tiptoes and pushing that right heel away. Really pushing through the mat here. Bit of a calf stretch. Good. Keeping that core tucked in. Breathing here. Inhale as you bring that right leg back in. Let's swap it with the left as you send the left leg behind you. Staying high on the toes, pushing that left heel away. Good. Bring yourself back in towards the centre. If you need to, let's sit back on the heels. Give the wrists a little bit of a shake out here. Give them a bit of a rest. Alrighty. When you're ready, coming back into that tabletop position. Work on the balance a little bit here. Help strengthen the lower back and the core. As you inhale, straighten that right leg out behind you like we did with the calf stretch, but we're keeping that right leg lifted. Straighten that left arm out. Testing the balance here. Making sure we're not opening up the hips to the right hand side, keeping them nice and level. Slowly lower the left hand on the right knee. Let's take it to the other side. Stretching out that left leg, stretching out the right hand. Again, pushing that heel away, so it's like you're reaching forward for something, also pushing against a wall with the back foot. Exhale to release that right hand and left leg. Straightening out the right leg here and the left hand. As you inhale, let's exhale round the spine, bringing the knee towards the elbow, dropping the chin. Inhale to reach forward. Exhale to round. Inhale to reach forward. Exhale to round. Good. Let's take 2 more. Inhaling to reach forward. Exhaling to round. Last time, inhaling to come forward. Exhale to round. Good. Slowly releasing that right foot and left hand. If you need to, sit back on the heels and shake out the wrists again here. If you feel good, let's straighten out the left leg this time and the right hand. Reaching forward with the right hand, pushing against the wall with that left foot. Making sure you're not turning the hips open towards the left. Let's keep them level. Good. Exhale to round the spine, bringing the knee towards the elbow. Inhale to come forward. Exhale to round. Inhale to come forward. Exhale to round. Whoop. Inhale forward, have a wobble if you need to. Exhale to round, just 2 more here. Inhale forward. Good, last time. Inhale forward. Good, releasing that right hand, left leg. Let's come to a child's pose here. Sink back between the hips, resting on the arms. Release the forehead onto the mat. Just allowing that breath to settle here. Good, let's take 2 more breaths. When you're ready, slowly coming up to a tabletop position here. We're working into our downward dog. Oh, that was my knee. So tucking under the toes, sitting back on the heels, a nice strong wide grip through the hands as you press through the mat. Staying strong in the shoulders. Inhale as you lift that tailbone, pushing through the hands and the feet to come into your down dog here. Giving yourself a generous bend in the knees as it's your first down dog. If it feels good, bending into one knee and then the other. Walking out the downward dog here. Staying nice and high in the tailbone. Lifting that butt up towards the ceiling. Good. Maybe shaking the head yes and no here. Really releasing that neck. This is a lovely one for the spine, as well as the back of the legs. Keeping that core tucked in here. Good. When you're ready, stepping the left foot in towards the centre here. With that right foot, we're taking the big toe and placing it on the back of that left heel. So just applying a teeny tiny bit of pressure on the back of that left heel, we'll get a nice little Achilles stretch here. Staying strong in the shoulders. Remembering to breathe. Good, replacing that right foot back down, putting it into the centre of the mat. This time the left big toe is coming onto the back of that right heel. Applying a teeny tiny bit of pressure just to help the Achilles and the calf here. Good, replacing that left leg back down. Let's drop to our knees here, coming back to that child's pose before we come back into our down dog. Releasing the arms out in front of you, maybe flipping the palms up towards the ceiling to give those shoulders a rest. Allow that breath to come back here. Good, let's take 2 more breaths. Slowly, when you're ready, coming back into that tabletop position, tucking under the toes, working back into your downward facing dog here. Maybe you find you've got a little bit more room. Again, let's step the left foot in towards the centre, raise that right leg behind you, keeping the hips level to start with. Coming into our 3-leg dog. When you're ready, opening up that hip towards the right hand side, aiming to bring that right heel towards the right glute. Good. Maybe rolling the knee out here. Coming back into that 3-leg dog with the hips nice and level. Replace that right foot down onto the mat, stepping it in towards the centre. Swapping it with the left leg as you raise that left foot, keeping the hips level to start with. Then slowly opening up the hips towards the left hand side, dropping that left knee towards the left glute. Good, maybe rolling out that left knee. Opening up the hip a little bit more. If you go one way, be sure to even it out. Good, then coming back to that level hip. Straightening out that left leg. Replacing the left foot back onto the mat. Bending into the knees, coming back into your child's pose. Releasing the arms out in front of you. Good. Allow that breath to settle here. Good. Slowly, when you're ready, we're coming up. We're actually going to lay back down onto our mat. Moving nice and slowly. Laying back down on your mat here, we've just got one more posture to come. Hugging the knees in towards the chest. Let's have a little rock from side to side. Good. Dropping that left foot to the ground. Bringing the right foot to rest on top of that left knee. So we're coming into a figure 4 stretch here. With that right hand pushing open the right knee. Tucking the chin in towards the chest just a little bit here to help lengthen out the spine. Maybe this is enough for you, you can stay here if it is. Or if you'd like a little bit more, lifting that left leg, taking a hold of the back of that left thigh. Pushing the right knee open with the right hand. Coming into that figure 4 stretch. So you should feel this down the right side of that IT and into the right glute. Good, slowly releasing that left leg, uncrossing the right foot. Bring the feet to about mat width apart and just allow the knees to knock from left to right here. And then we'll take it to the other side, so bringing the feet back in. The left ankle comes to rest on top of that right knee, pushing the left knee away with the left hand. Tucking in that chin towards the chest just in case it's headed backwards. Staying here if that's enough for you, or if you'd like a little bit more, bringing that right knee in. Taking a hold of the back of that right thigh, pushing the left knee open with the left hand. Feeling that down the left IT into that left glute here. Aiming to bring that right knee in towards the chest. Good. Slowly releasing that right knee, uncrossing the left leg. Again, bring the feet to about mat width apart. Allow the knees to knock from left to right. Good, allowing that breath to settle here. Good, now you have a couple of options. You can either straighten the legs out in front of you, coming into your Shavasana, or if you are against a wall, and I would recommend it, coming up against the wall, so we're aiming to put our legs up against the wall here, in your most elegant fashion, and just resting the legs up against the wall. So we're just draining the blood here from the legs, changing up the flow of blood. It's an awesome one for runners. Having the arms out down by your side, or up above your head, whichever feels good. Having the legs straight with a little bit of a micro bend in the knee, or you can bring the soles of the feet together here and the knees falling out to the side. Whichever feels better for you. I'm going to stay up here. You can even have a play with the feet if you want to open them out to the side or bring them into the centre, whichever feels better for you here. This does work if you haven't got a wall as well. If you just want to lie on your mat and raise the legs, you can do. Maybe prop a pillow underneath the hips. Good, and just allow yourself to hang out here. Allow that breath to settle. Again, like we did at the beginning, let's check in on the body. Notice how we're feeling compared to how we did at the beginning. And let's deepen the breath here as you inhale, taking one big breath in through the nose, pausing at the top, and then sighing the breath out the mouth. Good, twice more. Good. Now if you have the time, I'm recommending staying here for another minute or two. Or if you feel ready, gently walking the knees in, hugging the knees in towards the chest for one last time, having a little rock from side to side. Before rolling over to whichever side is more comfortable. Pushing yourself up to a seat here, crossing the legs. Good. Coming to a cross-leg position. Let's just roll the shoulders back a couple of times here, and then rolling them forward. Good, making any wiggles you need to, any finer little movements. And thank you for joining me. Hope to see you soon.